Okay, so I need to get you guys caught up. I am being hunted. I'm being hunted by hunters in Clarkston, Georgia. Last night, I was at the bus stop on Memorial Drive by South Harrison when I made my last video. My phone was on 2% and it died. A man that knows that I'm being hunted is D'Angelo Latner. He's the man who brought me to the hotel room, saying that I didn't have to have sex with him, and setting me up to have sex with other gang members. Another man named was Kevin Dupree, who picked me up and brought me to the man Leroy's house and tried to stop me from working on the evidence and had me all up the streets. Let me just go into details about what happened last night. I didn't have money for food, really, or a bus fare, and I walked up North Harrison Road, where I showed y'all where D'Angelo had saw me with my suitcase and rolled right past me. And I walked up and I sat by Central in South Harrison. They had gang members at the bus station after I made that video about me being at the bus stop pregnant. The gang members that had threatened to harm me. There, in front of that same gas station, there was more gang members plotting on me, huddled up in the bus cubicle on the opposite side of the street. I was on one side of the street by the Citco, and they was on the other side congregating in the bus thing against me after the bus hours in front of the Chevron. And I ended up praying and walking down Central Drive towards Hambrick Road because I was actually going to leave and get on the bus. And I wanted to go out the way that I came in this city, because I came in this city coming down Hambrick Road, explaining that I went to school in Hambrick Elementary, and I lived on Elegance Drive. And I came up Central Drive, and I came past the CVS over North Harrison, and I went to Central Drive, and Kevin Dupree picked me up. He sex trafficked me, then brought me to a man named Leroy's house, and he put me out of the home for working on my evidence about my case. Then after that, they just been picking me up and sex trafficking me this entire time. And D'Angelo Latner, I got his ID because he had left his ID in the office. So they brought his ID to the room the next day after he got me the room at the budget sale. And I got pictures of his identification because he is involved. Everything is scripted. It's all Hollywood scripts that they got them doing. A lot of them have charges for stuff, and then they not relaying the information to me. But let me go into details about what happened. So I went up Central Drive, and when I went up Central Drive, and it's an intersecting street on Central Drive called Hunter's Drive. And then a man came up to me and asked me, hold on, the police is involved, and I pray against all the police and departments, because every time I'm telling vital information, they come through with them sirens and stuff. But anyway, so this man pulled up on me, a Middle Eastern looking man, and he was asking me if I needed a ride up Central towards Hambrick Road around Hunter's Drive. And I had my book bag, I got rid of the suitcase, and I was just walking with this little stick. I have a cane now. They got me walking, limping with a cane. And the man stopped and asked me if I needed a ride. It's the mail lady trying to make all this noise because they got everybody involved with trying to murder a pregnant black woman. So anyway, they want to make as much noise as possible while I'm trying to tell y'all what's going on, because they tried to murder me last night. So first of all, they're hunting me. Let me just go and tell you what's going on. I'm not going to speak the accusations of trying to murder me right last night, but the whole intention is trying to murder me. They trying to cover up the fact that I shot a gun in self-defense, and they trying to make it seem like they took my child because I'm a drug addict and a prostitute, and I'm not. They're trying to make that out to be what it is, to cover up the fact that I shot a gun. You see how loud they be, and they don't be this loud. They doing that because they see me on this phone telling what they out here doing, and they trying to be loud. The case is about I shot a gun, they dropped the charges, it was self-defense, and I'm pregnant, and they've been starving me to cover that up. And then they took my son and threatened to rape my son with the KKK. All these African Americans, Hispanics, Chinese people, everybody threatened to rape my child with white people. And so they trying to make it seem like they took my son, like CPS took my son, and then they trying to make it seem like I'm going to commit suicide about them taking my son because I was a drug addict and a prostitute. I was not a drug addict and a prostitute. My son was never taken from me. Cynthia O'Vera got my son when I shot her son at Baytown Seafood in the leg for attacking my 22-month-old son, who she had custody of. So all of these American people is trying to set me up outside as a prostitute and trying to have these men giving me drugs, trying to make it seem like CPS took my child. CPS never took my child. CPS spoke with me about actually supposed to be actually going to get my child. I called CPS, first of all, and no, my son was never taken by CPS, and they know that they have nothing to do with this case other than them probably trying to be involved with my murder to try to cover up that Cynthia O'Vera and them threatened to rape my son with the Ku Klux Klan and the Satanic Illuminati as part of a death ritual, and all these people walking past while I'm saying this and they know what's going on and they just listening to see how much I'm telling. So anyway, the man had asked me if I needed a ride, and I said no. Then he said, dude, he put his finger inside of his other hand, as in like putting it in a vagina. And he said, are you effing? Are you effing? And I said, no. Are you going to give me a ride up Central? I was limping with a cane. And they all know that I'm pregnant, been tortured by the KKK for over 3 years with this baby. And they are Satanists. And he said that if I wasn't going to have sex with him, that he wouldn't give me a ride. And God showed me that they trying to set me up like a prostitute and blocking the audio out of my videos because they are trying to entrap me. I'm not soliciting myself. They leaving me outside without food and water and letting my family and everybody set me up to try to make it seem like I'm a prostitute when I was a stay-at-home mom, and they said they was going to rape me and my son. So this is them trying to rape me by forcing me to have to be outside. So anyway, let me go back up to the man. I got his license plate number because he pulled off on me when I said that I wouldn't have sex with him and let me walk up Central all the way to Hambrick, and he kept swarming around trying to hunt me on Central Drive, around Hunter's Drive, and some other streets. And his license plate number, I remember it. It was RWG 1306, and he was in one of them hatchback Infinities, and he kept following me. And then they all started swarming around me when I got to Hambrick Road, and then I went up by Hambrick Elementary and Stone Mountain High School. When I passed Stone Mountain High School, I held on my Bible and prayed against it because the alumni from Stone Mountain High School, they know me out here. They all know my sister. They know my father. They know my case. They know I'm innocent, and they out here helping these people do this shit to me, and they in the Illuminati. So I'm praying against the alumni of Stone Mountain High School, and I pray that God tear down y'all legacy forever and ever for what y'all did to me and my children in your city. And so anyway, I went up to Hambrick Elementary School because they didn't teach us the truth about slavery. They taught us that slavery ended, but they didn't teach us about the Bible, and they didn't teach us that they was raping little boys and girls during slavery and stealing them from their mothers. And they had me segregated in the classroom in second grade at Hambrick Elementary School. They had the Hispanic and black girls in the middle. They had me, Indian and black girl, on the side, on the left side of the classroom, and then they had the mulatto and African girls on the other side, and then they had the Chinese girls in another classroom. I didn't even know that they had other children of other races in the school because they was not putting us in the same classroom until we seen them in the hallway, and they was always treating us like they was better than us. So I went and prayed against Hambrick Elementary School because they know that I'm a good person. I was a straight A student all throughout school up until college, and they was abusing me in school, fighting me in school, causing me to have to drop out of school, and then they out here trying to pay me out to be a prostitute, and they know the details to my case. They know, everybody knows that I was innocent and that the United States government is helping them leave me outside to try to set me up. And so I prayed against them because this is a Confederate city. It is very racist. They trying to get them to take down racist statues and everything all over the city. They're trying to get them to take down racist stuff at Stone Mountain actual park, because this is a very racist town. And so I ended up walking past I came away from Hambrick Elementary and they had police officers. I didn't go on the property. I just prayed against the segregation and the racism in this town, because it is a very racist town, even though it's a lot of black people here. They just really sold out and have a very slave mentality to be trying to do this to a pregnant black woman when I came here. But God already let me know about Mona Scott, Benzino, Stevie J, and Mama D, Lil Scrappy's mother, knowing about my pregnancy when I was in the jail. So they worshiping these idols, and of course they're going to be quick to jump on the bandwagon and try to hurt me and my baby out here in every city that I go to, because of the celebrities that they have backing them up to try to hurt me and this child. So anyway, so I went up Hambrick Road towards Elegance Drive where I first came, and I went down that street and I started praying against all of the houses on Hambrick Road, because they all know that I'm out here, and they know that I was a little black girl that grew up in this town, and they know that I didn't hurt anybody other than in self-defense, and that they over here trying to starve this baby in me and torturing me. So I prayed against everybody that the vengeance of the Lord will come against everybody on Hambrick Road, because they was over there watching my videos when I was coming down that road. They've been watching my videos since I've been going in these hospitals, posting YouTube videos about them denying me hospital rights at Ben Taub and St. Luke's, and they erased the YouTube channel. Doctors trying to crush my belly and lie about my pregnancy. Black nurses trying to sit there and let the doctor kill my baby in front of her face, and they erased the evidence. So Chinese lady running real quick. Yeah, they hear what I'm telling. So anyway, I went down Elegance Drive and I started praying against that neighborhood, because it's a very racist neighborhood, and they had us segregated in houses when I was a little girl. They had the mulatto girl in one house, they had the black Indian girl in one house, they had Chinese, whites, everybody was segregated in the community. And so I had to pray against that racism, because these people know who I am. These people know that I'm not guilty for protecting myself and my son. These people know that my son was not taken from me at all. They know that Cynthia O'Vera got my son when her son was abusing me and I went to jail. That's how she got my son, when I protected me and my son, where he was attacking us, and there was witnesses, and they have all this information, and they over here trying to murder me and not put out the evidence about this white man attacking me and my child, because they threatened to rape my baby as retaliation for me shooting him in his leg. And then they turned around and tortured my pregnancy, and then said they was gonna make me eat my baby. So yeah, they trying to cover all of this up. So I went to Elegance Drive and I prayed against the house that my mama stayed in, because Cedric Brown was abusing me inside of that home. And now I see why he felt like it was so okay for him to abuse little black girls and get away with it, because look at how they abuse us in this society as grown women. Ain't nobody here to help us. Our own family don't give a fuck about us. If they did, they wouldn't have been letting Cedric Brown beat on me like that up in that house, because I never did anything for him to be abusing me like that. And I prayed against it, and I prayed that God break the power of it, because it ruined my life. The abuse ruined my life. All the lies that they told about me in this city ruined my life. All of the abuse of trying not to allow me to do anything successful in my life so that they could just have sex with me. That's all they done ever wanted to do out here since I was 15 years old. So then I walked all the way to East Ponce de Leon from Hambrick Road. And when I got to East Ponce de Leon, they had black men following me. They had a white man dog run out, and I prayed against his dog. And he went and got his dog when I was on Hambrick Road. And then they was following me, acting like they was trying to run me over on Hambrick Road, trying to run me off of the roads in the dark. And then I made it to East Ponce de Leon, and they had a black man out there trying to follow me. And I went the opposite way, going towards North Indian Creek Drive. And I walked all the way past Brockett Road, and I ended up having a seat. It was morning time. The sun was coming out. I fell asleep, and the sun had came out, and they had white people coming up and bothering me at the bus stop. They had people following me, black women, white males, black females, white females following me, trying to cover up my pregnancy and trying to cover up that they said that they was going to rape and molest my son, trying to cover up that Austin Metter was abusing me. And so I picked up my Bible and I started praying against all of them as they started swarming around me. I started praying against everybody, and they had a black man come over there smoking Black and Mild, trying to wake me up out of my sleep and ask ask me questions and stuff. But I ended up going back to sleep, and I didn't get on the bus because they were trying to run me out the city. And then I was like, nah, because I'm not going to have enough food to eat. Oh, there was a black man who gave me $5, and I know why he gave it to me, because he know they trying to either have me stranded out here or starving. And so I had to take that $5 and give me some fruit to eat. This black lady just walked past and she looked at my belly because they know I'm pregnant and they know what they out here doing. I'm not finna sugarcoat shit because I know why they looking at my belly, and they keep riding past me. The black men keep looking at my belly, and then they over here trying to see me charging my stuff and see what I'm doing. And this parking lot got completely full. I'm at Namdaemun Farmers Market, and they all swarmed up here to the farmers market to harass me around the farmers market. But anyway, let me just go on ahead and tell y'all. So I walked up. I walked up this morning. Like once I got up, I walked up to North Indian Creek Drive, and the Holy Spirit told me to turn left. And I walked down that street and realized that was the street that my mama first brought us to when she first brought us from Chicago, Illinois, to Georgia when I was a little girl. I was 3 or 4 years old, and I went to the Adult Learning Center on North Indian Creek Drive, and I prayed against that school because I went to school out here, and y'all gonna sit out here and then try to help these people murder me. And the white people know because they in this coven, the Ku Klux Klan, and they knew that I shot a white man when I was in the jail, and they all came together from all 50 states to decide to murder me and my baby in the jail cell. And then I'm out, and then they all setting it up. It don't matter what city I go to. If I go to Washington, D.C., they gonna try to murder me there. If I go to Florida, they gonna try to kill me there. If I go to Wyoming, they gonna try to kill me there, because it's the United States. And when one state decide to do something to you, it's a united front. And so that's why they doing what they doing to me out here in Stone Mountain. And he's coming past with all of these carts and everything, and it's making a lot of noise. And I need to get this information out. They know that I'm out here with no phone and that I cannot charge my phone, and I don't have much storage. So I need to hurry up and tell y'all, Father God, help me now, Jesus, because that's a distraction. So anyway, I kept walking, and they started following me in their cars and swarming around in their cars and walking around on foot, following me on foot. And I picked up my Bible and I turned my Bible to them, and I started praying against them in the spirit. And the black man all in my mouth over here, because he knows what they trying to do to me. He knows he's watching, and their black women is involved. Their women is involved with trying to have me killed. So anyway, let me just go on ahead and say. So I went to these apartments that on North Indian Creek Drive that me and my mama stayed in with Andrew, and accidents kept happening to me. In Chicago, something happened to my arm. It burned my arm with an iron. Somebody burned my arm with an iron when I was a baby, and I asked my mama what happened, and she didn't really know. Said my cousin was watching me, Kiana, and Kiana was abusing me real bad at 11 and 13, and so I had this big burn mark on my arm from an iron, and it was white. It had burned off all the skin on my forearm, and it was like that all through school, elementary, till my skin healed over and turned back brown. And then so she said that something about I got knocked down a flight of stairs and I had knots all on my head. Don't know how that happened either, because I was supposed to be 2 years old. So we got here, and the accidents was happening to me in that apartment complex. I got hit by some motorcycle, and my sister ran out into the street, and I was playing with her, and then the motorcycle just hit me, and it was almost like they did it on purpose. And then a dog got let out on me, and it was different accidents that just kept happening to me. And now that I know about these Satanists doing this stuff to people, and them being Satanists, I had to go back to this apartment complex and pray and break every curse, because my mother got sick in that apartment complex, and my mother was sick with cancer. And I prayed over my mom in that apartment complex, and my mother did not die, and they said that she was gonna die. And so I went to this apartment complex, and I just prayed to ask God to break any type of blood ritual or blood type of sacrifice over me and my family, that they may have cursed us when we got here to Georgia, because that's when a lot of this stuff started really happening, this wickedness. And my mama left Andrew and went to college. So I ended up keep walking down North Indian Creek Road, and I prayed against everything, because they got their colleges. The girls that go to the colleges, Georgia State University, Clarkston University, they all involved with trying to help these white people cover up my pregnancy and kill me. So I prayed against their campuses. I prayed that God shame them and bring them down for their witchcraft and their sororities and their fraternities, to think that you're going to sit over there and use your education to help kill a pregnant black woman for the Ku Klux Klan. And so I kept on walking. There was police out there. I picked my Bible up and I prayed against against the police because the police is involved. The DeKalb County Police is involved with trying to help set me and this baby up in this city, and they involved all over the United States. The police all over the United States is involved with covering up the evidence that this man was abusing me, that I shot him in self-defense, that they dropped the charges and then gave my son to pedophiles. So they out here trying to starve me while I've been pregnant with this baby. So I prayed against the police because they got criminals involved who have charges to try to come at me and do stuff to me. Anyway, I ended up walking all the way up North Indian Creek Drive till I ended up right back here on Memorial Drive. And then that's where I was last night when I was right there with no charge and it died. And then I didn't have no food, and I didn't have, I was just out of there. And then they hunted me, and they tried to hunt me and run me up out the city, which would run me into another trap. And then all these people could be like, oh, we don't know where Andrea Jones is. Oh, we don't have nothing to do with what happened to her. Oh, she crazy. But now I'm still in this city, and I'm calling out America, and I'm calling out every city in America because they trying to do it in every city in America. And this Clarkston city is not exempt. They are trying to do it too. I'm just one black female. I don't mean nothing to these people. I mean nothing to them. My children as slaves mean more to them than anything. The way that these people want to take advantage of me, they cannot do it. But they think that if they can annihilate me, they can do it to my children. My children do not have the capacity to fight back from them molesting them. I have the capacity to fight back from them doing this to me, and I will not allow it. And they trying to do it to my children, who are far more beautiful than I am. And then so they are molesters, and they can't control their sexual urges, and they need to give me my beautiful baby boy. He is a token. He is a prize. He is a gem, and he don't belong to them. So anyway, I walked all the way up Memorial Drive praying, and I went to the United. No, I didn't go to the United yet, but I went past the restaurants and the banks and all of the plazas where they letting them congregate in their cars in the plaza to come swerving out on me, trying to intimidate me, following me, trying to solicit me because they need to try to pay me out to be a prostitute to try to make it seem like my son got taken from me from prostitution. I don't have no charges. I don't have a prostitution charge. I don't have a drug charge. They are trying to sex traffic me, and they have been raping me, and I don't have charges for anything, but they trying to get charges. And the police officer, when I was on my way yesterday, there was a man who was a police and asked me to suck his penis for $20, and I told him no. But anyway, I don't know if he was a real police, but he asked me to suck his penis for $20, and I saw a little law enforcement thing on his dash, on like a card, and then I told him before I seen the law enforcement thing that I don't give people oral sex for money. That's what I told him. And then I looked down and seen the little card that it said law enforcement on there. And so he wasn't the first guy that I seen with a badge trying to get me to come into a room and have sex with him and get me out of my clothes, and then had some sort of badge. So anyway, I'm not in trouble for anything other than the fact that I'm being hunted by black women and all of these people. So let me just go back and say, so I walked up Memorial Drive, and then I got in front of their businesses. As I was walking past, I just held out my Bible and started praying in the spirit against all their businesses, because they think they're going to sell me out and then be over here having businesses over here in America and then sell out a pregnant black woman to be killed. You running around helping them. You driving around in your cars. They got their children involved. They got their daughters doing this. They have their sons doing this. This is wrong. And then they think that they're going to be having businesses while they're trying to set me and my son up to be killed. My lawsuit is worth millions of dollars, and they know that, and they are jealous of that, and they know what these systems have done to me and my children, and they need to make this right with us. And they over here selling their soul for their little business, and they want to try to kill my baby to stop me from being able to get my child and get my justice. I don't want no money from these people, but they do understand that denying me medical care and torturing me is worthy of some sort of settlement, and it will help me and my children. It's far greater than what they have going on. They got to rob, steal, and kill and set up their own people for money just to get by. And they know my blessing can get me out of this country. My settlement can get me out of this country. I don't ever have to deal with this enslavement again. And they over here trying to kill my baby, trying to keep me from getting the justice that I deserve. So anyway, and to keep me from getting my son, because they child molesters, they pedophiles, they got a coven. Yes, these black men is trying to get children to give them oral sex, my children, and I'm not playing. And they riding around trying to get me to suck on them, and that's all they keep doing. And the Holy Spirit said to me today, he said, if they keep coming to you with their penis out, he said, then you let that nigga know you really ain't trying to help me. If you keep coming to me with your penis out, you ain't trying to help me. So slash that D'Angelo tried to help me. No, you didn't, because you came to me with your penis out. And ain't none of y'all was trying to help me. But anyway, let me hurry up and tell y'all what's going on before they try to say that I need to move from this location, because that's what they do when they see that I'm exposing something. They have somebody hurry up and make me flee, and my phone is dying. So I continue to walk up Memorial Drive past the hotels. The Dominican man that brought me to the Heavenly Hotel was making it seem like he liked me and he wanted to be my boyfriend, and he had sex with me. And this is gang raping because you deceiving me. And then when he seen that D'Angelo was not answering the phone when I was leaving United, because he did it at the United and the Budget Hotel, did not answer the phone so other gang members could pick me up. And so this Dominican guy, I done forgot the nigga fucking name now because I put him out of his name. He said his name was Marty. He had sex with me, and then he stopped answering my phone calls. He got mad because I was going and buying extra food because I'm pregnant. And when he seen me ask him to take me to get some extra food, he got angry at me because they want my baby bump to be small, and they want to have sex with me and pay me out to be a prostitute, or they want to make it seem like I'm not pregnant by Austin and I'm pregnant by one of these men. He asked me to ejaculate in me just like Marcus Mitchell did, and I said no because I know who baby daddy is. And so he stopped talking to me right before they was finna put me out of that United room. And he have a hotel room over there where he could have let me come and stay over there in the room with him. And he stopped answering. So I prayed against that hotel. And she's all looking at my cart. Why are you looking at my stuff? Why you all in my cart? Because they trying to set me up. They trying to see how I'm helping myself, because they trying to set me up. So, and that's an African woman. Oh, yes, African women from out of the country. First of all, let me tell y'all that the African women in America are setting me up. Do not believe nothing that these African women say about my pregnancy. They had the nurses in the infirmary lying about my pregnancy, and they were African, and they were trying to squeeze my belly and crush the little baby. So God said that it's something very special about his pure tribes. It's something very special about his tribal women who have stuck together and have this distinct bloodline that have not been serving these whites that's going to get out here to help us, because the African women here, they are sold out to the system, and they over here following me around with these other ethnicities and these whites trying to do this to me and my baby. But let me hurry up because I got people walking around me intimidating me that work here, and they all know